Good morning. So, shamelessly copying what Francis Ouellet usually says, we can't get enough of training. And in the ELIXIR Training Platform, we also have this motto. And the role of the training platform in ELIXIR is to ensure that all the nodes, that all the countries are delivering coherently a program that is useful and of interest to all the users of the platform. And we work together to make this platform exist and to deliver training, ELIXIR-related training. And the way that we do it is we do it with two main axes. One is that we develop training, of course, and that for researchers, to the end users of the platforms, to the developers and infrastructure operators, and to trainers also. And the other way that we do this also is that we are building a platform, also a training platform, where we have a technical part of it that can allow the trainers to deliver training, with a technical platform also to display the events that we have and many other things that relate to activities in training also, and also ways of making the community of developers to communicate also. And we are also developing a community of trainers and trainees within Europe. So I'm going to talk a little bit of these two parts. And what we do is, of course, we build on the training of all the nodes, 21 nodes at minimum for the moment. And we build on that and we complement. It's like we have the universities in one side, giving education in bioinformatics. And then comes the nodes that have the training also of the local training that they have in their own countries. And ELIXIR complements that picture, having a unified picture where they all complement each other. We are doing that together also with many different infrastructures, partners, collaborators. We have a list of logos here. This maybe not comprehensive, totally comprehensive, but this are some of them, the partners with whom we are working with to deliver training. So to give you an idea of what we have been doing in delivering training for then researchers, developers, and infrastructure operators and trainers, this is a nice picture that we like to use to show a little bit of all the training events that we had in the past 2 years. It is not comprehensive either. It is just a snapshot of some of the courses that we have done. And to give you some examples, concrete examples of what we had, for example, for researchers and developers, or for researchers in the beginning, we have computing skills that we are doing training together with Software Carpentry and Data Carpentry Foundations. We are doing HPC courses, courses in programming also, for example, in Python, and using command line Unix. We are also doing training in using workflows like Galaxy workflow or Chipster, and we're also more use cases related training like variant analysis that we have done also together with the rare diseases, genome assembly and annotation that we have done together with plants, marine metagenomics, and the capacity building program that we also have in ELIXIR. Metagenomics courses together with marine metagenomics also, and as Luda just said, AI courses also for developers, and many other courses that are coming up in the next months. Some of the courses that we have also are not only face-to-face, they are online courses, and we are developing a platform, a learning platform, and I'm going to tell you a little bit later on. And some of the courses that we had that were face-to-face were made available online also in an asynchronous way, a synchronous way, meaning that we had many different, two different places having the same course, the places in different locations. So in two rooms in different countries following the same course. But the materials that we have and the things that we have for the courses are in the e-learning platform and also in tests that I'm going to talk a little bit later. We also have a Train the Trainers project that is very important for us because training is, there are many areas of training that are extremely demanded. The courses then when we open them are fully booked right at the moment that we open them, and we need to replicate many of those courses in different countries also. And training new trainers would be an important thing to do, to be able to scale the number of courses that we can provide. So the Train the Trainers project that we have is we have created materials and a framework of courses that people can learn how to become better trainers. And this materials we are currently working on the materials that can be used by the trainers, and also a framework, a set of different courses that they can do and how they can develop training. So we are in fact creating a community of new trainers. And this is, we have one, for example, the courses that the sessions that we have for the Train the Trainers are based on teaching elements that we are given to them, like, for example, principles of pedagogical learning and how they apply to training. That is maybe different from the university settings. Training techniques for enhancing learner engagement and participation. How to design engaging sessions, also course materials and courses. How to assess the courses, how to gather feedback of the courses. And these are the basic elements of the Train the Trainer sessions that we have. So we started with a pilot project where we have run 7 courses of this kind. The idea was to start building the courses and the materials for the courses. And then we have already trained 53 trainers across ELIXIR and across the countries, which we were happy with. And this is a program that is running still and is going to run in the next year. So the idea is to build really a community of trainers, highly skilled trainers in bioinformatics. So these were the part where about the training that we have developed so far. And now what we need to do to build a training platform and what we are currently doing to do this is we're building this infrastructure for training and also building the community of trainers and trainees. So one of the main flagships that we have also as a training platform is the TAS training portal that is developed by Niall, that is in the back. Hi Niall, our gig guru. So he has been deeply involved in developing TAS. This platform is a platform that we can find all the events that you have in ELIXIR, and not only, also all the training events everywhere in the world. We also have the materials of courses that anyone can take and learn from those materials and use the materials for other courses also. And the idea of this portal is that it aggregates materials and events from other resources like Goblet, like the Khan Academy, like Coursera, like the courses that are done by the nodes. So it's a portal that aggregates information and displays to anyone as a reference portal to find all the events and materials for training. So you can have a snapshot of the number of training materials and events that we currently have from 40 different providers. So it's something that is important for us. It's a way of displaying and we want this to become a reference portal where everyone that is looking for training and training materials can go and look for this information. So also one of the important things that Niall is doing is trying to make the ELIXIR events and training materials compliant with the bioschema standards. This is also how he has been so much involved in bioschemas. And also something that is important in TAS is that it cross-links to the two registries and the fair sharing. So we can have a smoothly go from training to tools, to materials, to databases, to standards in a smooth way, and then everything is connected within ELIXIR. So this was very important for us. It's currently done by Niall, and if you need some information, he's going to be in the booth later on ELIXIR, and you can have many more information. But to give it just a snapshot or what you can have in TAS, so you can search for events, for example, and you can make your own research on, for example, in a special country that you want to attend a course, in specific topics that you want to find courses, and you can make a subscription to an alert and receive this information in your email box when any time that a new course opens in that specific area that you're looking for. So, and you can, of course, filter in many different ways the database of events. In the same way, for the materials, you also can look through all the materials that are there, but you can also filter in everything that you are interested by content, by providers, by content, and you can also save the search that you have made, and also made an alert also to any time there is something new that comes up, you are going to be to receive an email about this and in your email box. And also one of the important things that is very interested in TESS also is that we are organizing training materials, events, and databases, and in other any kind of information in workflows. So, for example, you have here one workflow where you have the types of data that you would be using for a specific thing that you want to learn, all the tools that are there, what are the steps that you would need to do to run this workflow or to learn about this workflow. And one of the things also that is also interesting is that we can create our own workflows. The idea is in the future months is that we increase also the number of workflows that are displayed in TESS, and that people could also create their own workflows. And the idea also is that we integrate this with the other workflows that we were going to have in ELIXIR, of course. So this was just a short summary of what you can get from TESS. And again, Niall's in the booth. Go talk to him if you need something. Another thing, also another platform that we are creating this time is for the developers and infrastructure operators. We have created something that we called the Virtual Coffee Room. It's an informal and community space where people can ask questions and people can answer the questions. And this was created in the beginning only for the developers of and infrastructure operators of ELIXIR, and we realized that everybody can use that and can be useful for anyone, including us trainers. And why this was connected to training is that we thought this would be a good way also of finding out in the questions and the discussions that are going on, what are the training is that these specific orders, the developers and operators would have, and we could then attend this demand by sneezing into the questions that they have. So this is also one of the platforms that we are developing within the training platform. The other one is the e-learning. So as I said, also as a way to roll out the number of courses that we can provide. We can provide face-to-face courses, but they are never enough to all the demand that we have for certain courses, for very special courses or very needed courses. And one of the ways that we found to maybe tackle that is to find to do e-learning courses. So we are currently developing a platform where we can insert the courses. And we are working also together. We had long discussions to define what was e-learning, what we intended by e-learning, together with the Goblet community and other trainers also. And based on that, we wrote a white paper on all the discussions that we had, and also on the strategy that we want to adopt for this e-learning a platform and program that we have. So if you want to take a look at this, it's in Zenodo. You can just search that and you find the white paper that we had. We are doing training. We are developing a training platform, and what we need also to do is to decide to look for what is the real impact that we are having. What is the impact that the training that we are providing is having on the users of the training? So for us, it was very important to define what were the standards that we were using and the quality standards that we are having. All the countries all together could have a set of basic standards to follow. We want all the nodes to use the same kind of standards and to be able to also to give back the information for all the courses that they are doing. So we were obliged to develop a set of metrics to define, to be able to collect and be able to understand what was the impact that we had. So we have worked together also with the community of people doing training, and we came up with a set of metrics that would give us an idea of the impact that we are having. For example, one of the important things that we needed to collect as information is the satisfaction, of course, of the trainees. Of course, also the numbers of trainees that we are having, that gender also, to be able to know if we have the gender balance, career level of the people attending the courses, employment sector where they are, the country also where they are, of course, and how they found out the information about the courses. We want us to be sure that the information that goes through tests is also used to find courses, so we wanted to know if the test was being used. And we wanted also to be able to, in the future, contact the people that have attended the courses to see the long-term impact of their courses, and if they would be happy that we contact them to receive this information. So we have made this set of metrics. We made this available to all the countries doing training, and now we are collecting all this information. So just to give you a snapshot, also an idea of how the training how is it being delivered in the countries. We have here in the right the cheese in the top. Was going to camembert cheese in the top. You have the overall satisfaction of the people attending the courses. So we can see that 90% of the people attending the courses are very happy with what we are doing. So this is important for us. And if people would recommend the other camembert on the other side, if people would recommend more than 90% of the people would say that they will recommend the courses that they are attending, etc. This is the kind of information that is important for us. Also for us as trainers to know how the training that we are doing is going, and also for ELIXIR as a whole to see if we have an impact and if we are really reaching the people that we need to reach. Also related to building this training infrastructure, we are all very much interested, of course, in developing standards and using standards, and we in the training community, we are needed to define standards for defining training materials, for example, or training events. So we have worked together, as it was already said, with bioschemas and also with Goblet to define the minimum set of descriptors of training events and training materials. And these are being used also in bioschemas, so it's something that goes as an evolution cycle of feedback loop. And we have used some of the course or the hackathon activities that we had in the last 3 years, to develop those descriptors. And like, for example, in the NGS training material curations that we had, or also in the training Galaxy training for materials development also. So this is a way that we have found also to work with the community that go beyond the training, but also to be able to define coherently define standards that will decide for the standards that will define our training events and training materials. So we are working with bioschemas and Goblet. Just as also as to award the people that have been working on the competencies in the ISCB Education Committee. There's a whole work that has been done to define what are the competencies of different professional areas and what are the training needs of specific professional areas also. And this, we have been inspired by the work that has been done in ISCB in that direction, and we have been using this to develop also competencies and specific courses for specific professionals. So these competencies profiles have been used in BioXL, Corbel, and RR Train, some of the projects that we have within ELIXIR. This is currently used also together with Edison, one of all the European projects, to define also the competencies that are needed and required for data scientists, for example. And we are using that also, we are going to use that also to define learning paths that we want to have, that we can give as an indication for people that want to attend or use ELIXIR and to attend the ELIXIR training also, in how they can, what are the training needs that they could follow to go from one point A to one point B, and what all the courses and that they will need to acquire the competencies that they think would be needed. So this is some work in progress that we have also within the training platform. And finally, so we are also working together with Data Carpentry and Software Carpentry foundations to promote computing skills that are needed for the community of people using ELIXIR. So we have working in a collaboration agreement with these two foundations to provide more training, more workshops in software carpentry and data carpentry in the nodes, in the countries of ELIXIR, to produce common training materials that can be reused also by the nodes in the courses that they are going to reproduce, and to train also new software carpentry and data carpentry instructors. So we have also done a pilot project of software carpentry and data carpentry in the nodes, and this what the work and the experience that we had was published in a F1000 paper recently. And so you can find this information on the F1000. So this was a main idea, that a main message that I wanted to give is that we are providing training within ELIXIR. We're doing that together with all the countries that are part of ELIXIR, and also with many other different institutions and partners that we have. And just then, if you have any other questions, I'm also going to be in the booth later on, and we can have a talk about it. But before closing, I just wanted to say thanks to all the training coordinators. We have one training coordinator at least per country, and we all work together to define the training and to build the training platform. Also, I will also like to, of course, acknowledge all the accelerated subtask leaders also. They are doing a lot of work to make this happen, to help us build the ELIXIR training platform, and of course, all the training community of ELIXIR. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Patricia. I'm sure there are questions for Patricia.
Hi, just a quick question. How can you, is it possible to integrate the information in the e-learning platform into other e-learning platforms, say Moodle, for example?
In fact, currently the e-learning platform that we have is based on Moodle, okay, and it uses the SCORM standard also, and it could be easily transferred from one platform to another one, and of course from one Moodle to another will be easily done, yeah.
If I can do a quick comment, it is not surprising that the most of the people are participating to the training are PhD and postdoc, but how do you feel that maybe it would be, say, possible to involve more PIs, for example? Would it be a good idea or not?
In fact, what happens is, as you see, well, so as I said before, we complement what the universities are doing. So the basic of bioinformatics is done by the universities, and we see it's true that PhDs and postdocs are usually those that attend the most the course, because they are those that are doing the work for their PIs usually. But there are also PIs that attend courses, and it's also important that Kath is going to say something about the EBI program that they have for PIs, and in some of the countries we are doing also PIs attend also the courses, but we didn't think yet within ELIXIR to have a specific project for PIs, but this would be an interesting thing. Yeah.
So actually what I was going to say is that some of the nodes are running courses specifically for PIs. So far, ELIXIR UK through University of Cambridge and the EBI have done so. There's been a lot of interest in this course, so I think potentially this is something that we could take on the road.
And now a question for you also. And what is the proportion also of people, of PIs attending the courses in comparison to all the rest of the training that are done in EBI or in the Cambridge University?
So
because it's still a small
I mean, the PI's course is full of PIs, but only PIs. But typically, at the EBI, our other courses are at least half full with PhD students, and most of the rest tend to be postdocs. We've seen an increase in industrial and an increase in clinical participants recently. And several of the clinical participants across the board are at a more senior level. Yeah.
This is a good thing because we are working now also in building the foundations of the ELIXIR Training Platform. We started by thinking about developing training, and now we are starting also to discuss about the industry engagement in industry courses also. And it's something that we are doing also together with Andy and with Pablo also. And we started to discuss of how to increase or to make more courses, maybe more related to industry and the industry interests also.
Yeah, I had a quick question about impact actually, which you mentioned about the satisfaction of courses, and that's very important, and it's great that we can now look across all of the ELIXIR nodes using a consistent set of questions. But of course, real impact can only really be seen once people have gone away and used the training that they have received. And so I was just wondering whether you could say a couple of words about what ELIXIR is doing in this direction.
So we are currently working. We started to work with the short-term feedback forms, and now we are starting to look for the long-term feedback. But the main problem that we also have, I guess everywhere, all the nodes will have also, is once they have left, how can we reach the people? And one of the things that we are trying to do, at least in the ISCB also, is to ask people to leave their personal emails, for example, so we can reach them once they leave. And it would, but this is a main problem, is how to keep that link when the people leave, and how we can really reach out and discover what was the real impact of that long-term impact.
We should talk to Joe and have a think about whether we could use ORCIDs.
Oh yeah, exactly.
They'll take those with them.
ORCIDs it's exactly.
Yeah.
If there are no further questions, I'd like to thank all the speakers from this morning session.